I said, I want a life. And 1 week before trying out for the Olympic team in skiing, I ended up in Philadelphia with a heart catheterization because they found a murmur. And there was my dream, gone. So I graduated from high school, and I went from Pennsylvania to Montana to ski. Well, I didn't have 2 good skiers. It just wasn't on the top of my game. I could ski. And if you've been to Montana, it's cold. So I did the most wonderful thing. I was sitting in the library with my girlfriend, and we looked up the University of Hawaii, and we transferred there. It was warm, it was sunny, it was fabulous, and I learned how to surf besides. So while I was there, I got a scholarship to the University of Hawaii. I'd like to stand up here and tell you it was for my brains. It was not. I sold cookware door to door. And that's how I got a full ride to the University of Hawaii. And something else I wanted. That was the title of Miss Hawaii. And I won that title. So I was on a roll. I moved to Los Angeles to be an actress, and guess what? Los Angeles did not care. 250 job interviews, 250, and I lost them all. I was financially, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally bankrupt. The only thing I could think about was suicide. 7 years. I had struggled. In 7 years, I didn't make it. Watch what you think to yourself, because that's what you draw to you. So I was hired to MC the Miss Hawaii pageant, to go back to Hawaii, and I thought, oh, maybe this will change my life. So this is what I said: let my life change. Let it never be the same, or let me die. On March 1st, 1978, I boarded a Continental DC-10, headed to Honolulu, Hawaii, and we exploded on takeoff and burned to the ground. Remember me? I've lost 250 job interviews. There was a national commercial being filmed over there with Dick Van Dyke. Well, you know, I practiced at CBS Studios, so I was ready. I went in that interview, and I looked around, and there was 50 other women that looked just like me, and I thought, oh, my gosh. And I was the very last one to go in that room. And you've been on those job interviews in your life where, you know, you read, you talk to them, and they say, thank you very much, which means we are not calling you and don't call us. And I thought, I just survived a DC-10 plane crash, and this guy's telling me I'm not good enough for this part? I don't think so. So I looked at him and said, I want to be a working actress. What else do I need to know? What else do I need to learn? And he said, oh, you read the part, great. He said, you're 5 years too young for this part. I would kill to hear those words now. And I looked at him and said, put a Hawaiian muumuu on me, a floppy hat, you know, and makeup, and I'm 5 years older. And by the time I got to my hotel room, the phone was ringing, and I got the part. It started my career with over 100 appearances on TV. So what do we have to change in our lives sometimes? We have to believe in ourselves. That's where that transformation comes. We have to adjust our own attitude inside of us. So what are the strategies for transformation that I learned as a survivor of a DC-10 plane crash? Your attitude and choices determine who you are. No, the government doesn't. No, your spouse doesn't. No, your job doesn't. But the attitudes and choices you make every day of your life determine the life that you live. So let me give you a little story and see where you are here. There's a father and a teenage daughter, and this story takes place in England before they had banks. You went to a money lender, you struck up a deal, okay? Borrowed the money, 1 year it was due with interest, and if it wasn't paid, then you went to debtor's prison. Okay, they struck up the deal. The father went out. He worked very hard with the teenage daughter, but they failed. He went back to the money lender and said, please, please extend the loan. The man with all the power, all the control said, absolutely not. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. or you go to jail. He noticed the very attractive 16-year-old daughter and said, I will make a deal. I will marry your daughter. That's canceled. She was horrified. He could tell she wasn't going to go for that deal. So he said, okay, I will put 2 pebbles from this courtyard in a bag, and your daughter will choose her destiny. The white pebble, the debt's canceled, you're both free to go. The black pebble, the debt's canceled, but she marries me. She did not like that, but it was 50-50, so she agreed. She couldn't even sleep that night. She got there really early in the morning, and she kept thinking, white pebble, I have to pick the white pebble. But she watched that moneylender, and he picked up 2 black pebbles, and he quickly put them in his pouch. So if she would say to him, you liar, you cheat, well, her dad goes to debtor's prison. If she chooses, come on, she's going to get a black pebble. How many of you can adjust to the rapid change that we're in? She reaches in, she pulls out a pebble, she holds it tight, and then she moves with her long skirt, and it falls with all the other pebbles. And he yells at her, and she said, oh, I'm just 16, I'm so young, and I'm so clumsy, and I'm so sorry, but I know. Please look in your money pouch and see what color pebble is left. Yes, some of you got it faster than the others, okay? And then I chose the other color pebble, right? I chose the white pebble. The debt is canceled and free to go. That's attitude and choices. And that's exactly what you have to do. Yale University did a study against negative people and positive people. Positive people live longer. So the next time you're working with a coworker and you're just hating them, right? Just take a deep breath, nod, walk away, smile to yourself, and say, I am going to live 7.5 years longer. So what's your action plan? It's back to that 20-80% rule. 20% understand what the problem is, but 80% go for the solution, go for the alternative, go for the change, go for the transformation, because it's there.